Chapter 16. Developing Harmonious Human Relationships. Think of your subconscious mind as a tape recorder that records everything you have been doing and accurately reproduces them. Every thought, action, mannerism, stutter, and so forth will be recorded for posterity by your subconscious, and it will never run out of tape. So most every action you have committed, mistakes and all, will be stored inside it from the cradle to the grave. This idea, together with the law of attraction, is crucial in starting and maintaining friendly relationships with other people. Below are some of the principles behind human relationships that you must keep in mind at all times. Do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. Think about people the same manner that you want them to think about you. Feel about others the same way you want them to feel about you. For instance, if you do not want to have people, be they neighbors or coworkers, talk behind your back while having a plastic smile on their faces when they are in front of you, then you should not act in such a manner to them. The last thing you want in your life is resentment and criticism. Putting up facades and pretending to be friends with people for the sake of saving face will only spell doom in your life, because people can tell when you are not being true to yourself and to others. By doing such things, you are actually empowering whatever feelings of hatred you have over these people. Do not let negative thoughts and feelings take root into your mind, because they will only serve to rob you of your motivation, strength, goodwill, and happiness in the long run. Stop entertaining such negative thoughts, because no one is ever worth the aggravation. It is certainly not in your best interests to bring all sorts of trouble in your life by earning the resentment of others and feeding the fuel of hatred within yourself. Do not judge others, because none of the thoughts you have while judgmental are constructive in the least. Do not use your creative mind to give yourself ideas about how you should feel about your fellow man. The standards you impose onto others you will also indirectly apply to yourself and vice versa. The way you feel, act, and think about others will reflect back on the way you feel, act, and think about yourself. In effect, thinking negatively about others and mistrusting their motives means you are thinking negatively about yourself and mistrusting yourself as well. Yes, even thinking negatively about others will result in you thinking negatively about yourself, because in the end, we are all human, and if others are susceptible to horrible misdeeds, then you should be too. The way we act around people will also have a reciprocal effect on ourselves as well as others. Lying and cheating to others is tantamount to lying and cheating to your own self. Even if you come out guiltless in regards to your actions, you will forever mistrust people, their words, and their actions, because you yourself are untrustworthy. If you live life as a negative individual, you will perpetuate the belief that all mankind is composed of untrustworthy people or naive people who can be victimized at your behest. In contrast, if you do good things to others and believe in their goodness, you will be repaid with kindness. You will earn their trust and gain confidence in return for your deeds. Do evil and expect retribution from others or even from yourself in the form of karmic self-sabotage. Dealing with the negativity of others. For the sake of example, I would like to recount the story of an acquaintance, Alicia Jennifer. Alicia worked as a personal secretary in a large multinational corporation. She felt resentment toward the women at her job because she felt that they were spreading horrible gossip and rumors about her. She had a hard time getting along with her female coworkers, and as a result, she could only talk to the men at her workplace. Naturally, this led to further speculation about her, because the only people she could seemingly get along with were men. Alicia was in quite a dilemma, but speaking to her once would reveal the reason why most people had a hard time warming up to her or even dealing with her. She had an arrogant and condescending tone of voice whenever she spoke to people. Most of the men could tolerate her domineering personality, but the way she lorded over her female coworkers ruffled more than a few feathers, so to speak. If she had been more conscious of how her tone and attitude came across to others, then she would have been able to make the necessary adjustments and make her life a whole lot easier. If she had enough empathy to know that a domineering and authoritative attitude made her hard to deal with, then she could have done something more constructive than harbor resentment for people she did not really know or care for. Because her only thoughts were that her subordinates were being insubordinate, she would soon even alienate the men she got along with. Even if she was not able to win the women in her office over, she could at the very least stop their negativity from being a detriment to her. Was her attitude the reason why women found it difficult to work with her? Or did their actions against her make her that way? This attitude was all subconscious on her part, and the fact is, it does not really matter how it first started. The fact of the matter is simply this: regardless of who started what, she harbored resentment that was eating her up inside, affecting her work and ruining her career prospects. Either she finds a solution for this or leaves the company altogether, because she just cannot get along with the people in her workplace. What mattered was how she was going to stop appearing like a bossy busybody. Most living creatures are reactive. They react according to whatever stimulus is presented to them. For example, a dog reacts the way people around it react, for good or for ill. Be friendly with the dog, and it will return your kindness with kindness. Show hostility, and it will be hostile in return. A dog is not above biting the hand that feeds it, if that very same hand punishes it excessively for its mistakes. Similarly, we have the ability to sense the mood and feelings of others, and we react in accordance to them. At any rate, the solution to Alicia's problems was awareness and self-control. I had the chance to speak to Alicia about her issues, and I made it known to her that by becoming aware of how her subconscious reacts to the feelings of others and calming her body and mind through daily prayers, she should be able to overcome all the negativity that her workplace presented to her on an everyday basis. I imparted upon her an affirmation she could use, as a mantra or daily prayer of sorts, which would stir her subconscious mind to alter her negative mentality and instill in her a more positive attitude toward the people she came in contact with. The affirmation that she was to recite daily before bed and after she woke was as follows: I am at peace now, and I will forgive everyone who has spread rumors or gossips about me. I radiate love, peace, and harmony. I speak in a loving and gentle tone, and I inspire others. Whenever she got the urge to react uncompromisingly, she would calm herself and react in a peaceful and calm manner. She reminded herself that there was no need for her to get swept up by the negativity of those around her. She vowed to become a wellspring of happiness, warmth, and harmony, instead of a sponge that absorbs all the hate and resentment of those around her. Eventually, her prayers were answered and resulted in a better work life. The environment around Alicia has since improved. Her love and energy was able to penetrate through the wall of bitterness of her female coworkers, and soon the rumors and gossips ceased, and friendships were formed with her colleagues without her needing to relocate or change jobs at all. Her change of perspective and her determination to not let the hatred of others affect her was what made all of this possible. How to deal with difficult or toxic people. There will always be that one man or woman who can be difficult for you to handle or makes things hard for those around him or her. Conflicts of personalities and interests will happen, and not even the unlimited power of the subconscious mind can eliminate these incidents from happening. You might as well will the sun to stop rising or setting, or stop the planet from rotating with your mind. More to the point, there are difficult people out there who have distorted mindsets and are programmed to be as negative, unconstructive, and uncooperative towards life as possible. It just can't be helped, but there are at least ways to deal with them. Not only are these negative, sometimes outright toxic people filled with destructive energy and negative thoughts, they also have the ability to affect those around them, as though they are vampires who suck the life of everyone who comes into contact with them. Because we are all only human, the natural reaction towards negativity is negativity. Hate begets hate. Detest begets detest. However, you should not do that because you are only dragging yourself to their level. One of the best ways to deal with toxic people is to not deal with them. Ignore them and push them out of your life because they will only drag you down with their emotional baggage, their traumatic past, and their ability to turn any environment into a negative one because of their self-destructive mindset. If you have no choice but to be around these poisonous individuals, then you can always repay their evil with goodness. Kindness and positive thinking are your best defense against those unavoidable toxic people and their negative influence on you and your mindset. Your turning of the other cheek and taking the high road will also help them change their attitudes too, although whether they do change for the better or not is wholly up to them. Instead of being a sponge or a mirror of their hatred, counteract their destructiveness with creativity and a constructive attitude. You should also avoid being victimized by those who seek to take advantage of your kindness as well. Being kind does not mean you should be naive as well. When they start manipulating you through guilt, temper tantrums, and other emotional threats, cut your ties with them and avoid them as much as possible. They are not worth the time or energy any longer, and you already gave them the benefit of the doubt anyway. Do not ever allow people to use you to their ends, because that robs you of your individuality and control over your life. Let your mindset be filled with thoughts of success and motivation to better yourself instead. Become a good example to those around you, and surround yourself with successful people as well. Stay true to yourself and keep these difficult people from ruining your chances of happiness, health, and peace. Try this. The following is the secret to building healthy relationships that will benefit you for life. All your thoughts of the relationship in question should be full of peace and harmony. Any harbored hostility will hinder the creation of a healthy relationship that is mutually beneficial to all parties involved in the relationship. Effective prayer of positivity will dissolve all negative feelings between the minds and hearts of you and the other person in the relationship. Pray for those you come into contact with, whether at work or in your personal life. Wish for them to be blessed with what you wish to have in life: good health, abundance, joy, etc. Remember, what you focus on, what you selflessly wish for others, you will attract into your life. Understand that no one purposefully acts in a hateful, antagonistic manner. If you come across such people, realize that there is an internal conflict within them, a lacking of positive energy, which affects their judgment and reactions toward those around them. Do not harbor ill will against such people. Instead, radiate love and goodwill to them. Pray that they receive the blessings of the divine to alleviate the conflict within them. When you have to deal with such antagonistic people, affirm that the difficult moment will pass and that there is a harmonious solution to be found from the infinite wisdom of your subconscious.